Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. I got 2 words. Bam, bam. That's a bad man. I call him the mechanic in my boxes to watch, man. This little dude, he's like a Swiss Army knife. He a mechanic. He can get the job done. And listen, Eddie, to cap off that post-fight press little interview, Eddie said something that I totally agree with, man. If you don't have Jesse Bam Rodriguez in your top 10 pound for pound, man, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I know he's down there at flyweight. Might be one of the baddest. I think he the baddest flyweight on the planet. You know what I'm saying? He's getting ready to go up to 115. But he came in at 18-0 with 11 knockouts. And he got another one in devastating fashion. You know what I'm saying? Right to the body with a left, I guess you can call it a left cross or overhand left, if that's what you want to call it. Boom. Sweet science where the chin goes from here to there in like 100,000ths of a millisecond, you know what I'm saying? And it sends a signal up to the brain that tells the leg to get down. My man Sunny fell down, face forward, couldn't even stop himself, face on the canvas, you know what I'm saying? And it came down to his corner actually throwing the towel. I think it was 1 minute into the 9th round, so it was after the 8th round going into the 9th. And his corner called it off. Rightfully so. He took a lot of barrages. In that fight, I got a little nervous, you know what I'm saying? Because SunnyEdwards, and thanks Chris for stealing my thunder and my whole clip and running it down to the fireworks and everything. I had made a thumbnail and I gave a little briefing on according to my old heads on the interweight breakdown. I said this gonna be fireworks and that, even though Sunny didn't have the high KO rate, that he's a very dangerous fighter and he can get you out of there. I think it's just his style and he's able to do what he want to do because it's his charisma. And I said that this was best skill versus will. You know what I'm saying? And I know that Jesse Bam has the skill, but I got a little nervous a couple times because, Sunny is deceptive. He got them good feet. He can stop. And when he plant and fully commit, because you're not going to see it coming, he can really daze you. And this is the first time where I really didn't see as much of the lateral movement that I normally see with Bam. I know a lot of people, not me, a lot of people was criticizing him after last year in the performance he had when he got his jaw broken. But I was saying that was one of the times where, a fighter is too active. You know what I'm saying? I think he had fought like 5 times, either 4 or 5 times last year. And you want to do that. But at the level he's at as a champion and all that, you kind of got to slow down because the caliber and of competition and how your body got to, recharge and heal, and all that. So I think he might have been too active, you know what I'm saying? But tonight he got active, you know what I'm saying? I'm proud of that young man. And it speaks a lot to Robert Garcia, man. I know I don't really do no solo videos on Robert Garcia, but it really speaks to the tutelage that he has. You know what I'm saying? I know that he has a lot of Mexican pride and a lot of the stuff that he do is for his people and all that. But the dude got a stable. And we got to think, Virgil Ortiz, you know what I'm saying, just linked back up with Robert and said they picked right back up where they left off. Because if you remember, they had a separation where Robert Garcia had to choose whether he was going to go over there with Virgil on a fight or go over there with Bam on a fight because they fought in the same night. And he said that, Virgil, he got a team around him. He's more mature. He said, I think my young guy needed. And I don't know if that kind of caused a rift back then. But the good news is Virgil came back into the fold. And you can see Robert Garcia with a lot of guys, man, in this stable. And you can tell that they actually putting in some real work. Some work that actually translates. Because a lot of times, Bam is not a trash talker. So Sunny, everybody said, oh, he sunned Bam in the press conference, and he said a lot of things about Snack, and he said a lot of things about this and this and that, and people were saying he won the press conference, but being that Bam is really not a trash talker, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, well, these guys must not have seen Bam, they must not have seen Bam fights before, you know what I'm saying? And I did a parlay 2 nights in a row, and my parlay was that Shadeja was gonna get the stoppage Bam was gonna get the stoppage, and David Morrell was gonna get the stoppage. Would have made big bank. Look. And I said, okay, you know what? I just spent a little 10 on that. You know, so let me go ahead and put another 10 down. Did my same parlay and said that Chris Colbert was going to win by decision. That Sonny was going to get the stoppage. I mean, that Bam was going to get the stoppage, and that David Morrell was going to get the stoppage. And by George, I missed out both times. But you know what? In these cases, you know what I'm saying? When I put a little bit of bread down, that little $10, $20 or whatever, it didn't really mean nothing, really, you know what I'm saying? It was just a chance, you know, to make boxing, in my case, for all I do, just to make boxing and what I put into the sport just pay for itself. But in those cases, sometimes I kind of am happy to be wrong a little bit. And in that case with Franchon Design Crew, she just came out and just had an excellent performance. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what was going on with Shadeja. She came back, said she's going to come back. But that messed up the parlay. And then tonight, you know what I'm saying, because it was controversial decision with Chris Colbert the last time with Raul Valenzuela. And he didn't do what he was supposed to do. I kept screaming and shouting for this man to stop getting in the southpaw. He was a liability in southpaw. I had it in my notes, and I'll show you my notes, but I had it in my notes. I said, man, stop getting in southpaw, because when you get in that southpaw stance, he's killing you with the left. Lo and behold, I look back at the tape and what he was in. He was in the southpaw stance, got caught back and straight back, and Ryu came over with a thunderous overhead right. And once again, sweet sign, since he was leaning back, he caught him, and that chin went from here to there in 1/100th of a millisecond. You know what I'm saying? Yang Yang sent the signal up to the brain, and he was out. You know, I actually was concerned, just like I was concerned about Leo Santa Cruz when Tank took his two to land that devastating uppercut. You know what I'm saying? It was one of them situations where I'm glad that Chris Cole was able to get out the ring. You know, Sonny was busted up after the Bam Rodriguez fight. Bam took on a little bit more hits. He got touched a little bit more than, you know, what most people are used to. And Robert was actually getting on to him and said, look, man, I don't want you to get lazy on defense. His corner was saying, don't get lazy on defense. Like, yeah, do your thing, but I want to see your lateral movement look good and look impressive. And then Bam went out there and did what he was able to do. Sonny, on the other hand, man, handled it like a first-class gentleman, man. I like actually watching Sonny fight. And he handled the loss like a champ. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'll fight anybody. I'm for the best fights. He gave Bam his kudos for winning. And I stand behind Eddie, man. I've had, even though I haven't officially put out a top 10, I do have one made up that I'm kind of adjusting a little bit, because I had Bam and I had David Benavidez like right at the edge of making it. And they're actually officially on the pound for pound list for me right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if I ever come out with one, because it's so controversial, and you know, the OnlyFans, they get the whacking, you know, they'll go crazy and ham whenever you start talking about a pound for pound list. But I'm telling you, if you do not have Jesse Bam Rodriguez on your top 10 pound for pound list, aka in my book, I call him the mechanic. You know what I'm saying? He's like a little Swiss Army knife, got some of the best footwork in the game. His punch placement is A1. I think as long as he stay tight and crispy on his defense and he use those legs the way he do, he's a tough out, and he's definitely danger for anybody that, you know what I'm saying, he might face. So I look forward to the young man future. Salute to Robert Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Salute for David Morrell and the performance, the talented Mr. David Morrell and the performance that he put on. And y'all could have won me some bread. You know what I'm saying? Had it not been for Colbert tonight, you know what I'm saying, I'd be sitting on a little chunk of change. Just a little something, you know what I'm saying? Just a little something. You know, but anyways, man, I'm excited about it, man. Let me know what you think about the fights, man. Let me know what you think about Bam's performance. Do you have him in your top 10 pound for pound? Or are you one of the ones that say, oh, man, it's the Maggie weights. It's the Rice weights. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, them little dudes can box, man, and they really have skill. And some of them really have some real power. You know what I'm saying? Get right or get left. Get down with the program. Get familiar with these fighters, man. Get familiar with all the fighters that Robert Garcia have. Get familiar with all the fighters that even Stephen Edwards, aka the I call him the EF Hutton of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Kyron Davis got a victory tonight. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it was just a good night of boxing, man. I had to play ping pong a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the beginning of that, even though I'm glad the talented Mr. David Morrell, he said, hey, look, man, I don't get paid for overtime. He made light work of his guy. Short night of his guy. I think the second round, you know what I'm saying? That was the statement. He said, I want 100%. I want, to everybody else, yeah, I want to fight. I'm not scared. I want to fight everybody. But David Benavidez, 100%. That's who I want next, man. The Cuban killer. You know what I'm saying? I call him the talented Mr. David Morrell. You know, he's trouble for everybody, you know what I'm saying, in his path. Athletic, explosive. Just a real good night of boxing, man. I was so excited to just actually be able to sit back and enjoy all of these fights, man. I had a good time. And for a hardcore boxing fan, I got my fix tonight. Thanks to DAZN. Thanks for year 37, the 111th episode with Showtime. I salute all of them, man. Beautiful programs, nice, great undercards. I didn't have a dull moment tonight. You know what I'm saying? It was like a hardcore's dream. You heard? But anyways, Mom, I love to get your comments and your feedback and your take. If you haven't hit the like button, hit your like button. Matter of fact, put that stick out on my like button. You know what I'm saying? If you like the up, put that up on my like button. Do some body work on my like button. You know what I'm saying? Put some comments in the comment section and talk to me. I talk back. You know what I'm saying? I interact with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to put fresh water back into the sport. But anyways, thanks for everybody who rock with me. Thanks for tuning in here at Bodywork Boxing. Well, we don't take things for face value. We do that body work. Welcome to Body